So this here is the video that I've been saying that I've been going to make for a long time. It's my Excel worksheet. If you've got Excel, well, let me back up. If you've got a trucking business, whether you're running one truck, two trucks, three trucks, you need some sort of a way to track what you're doing and to be able to kind of gauge what you're doing. And I found the Excel spreadsheet seems to be the best program for keeping track of the loads in the order that I do it. So right here, this is your basic spreadsheet on Excel. You've got your toolbar at the top, and on the bottom down here, at the very bottom, you can see I got sheet 1. And you got a little plus tab. You can add it and add 2 and 3, and you can just right click those and rename these tabs at the bottom. So on the first one, I usually just go 20. Well, you have to hit rename, and you hit rename, and I hit 2025, and that just lets me know that this is the spreadsheet for 2025. And at the top, I usually skip down about 10 rows to give myself some headroom to do calculations for the year up at the top. So on the first one, on the column up here at the top, I will go with the date. The next column over, I go with the load. The next column over, I go with the brokerage. The next column over, I go odometer. Next load over, I go starting city. Next one will be state. Next one will be odometer. Next one over will be ending city. And then at the top, if you noticed, on some of these you don't quite have enough room, but you can grab at the top and you can spread this out a little bit more to fit your whole word into its. So then I'm going to go ahead and go through this real quick because it's kind of, it's going to be long a little bit because I'll show you at the end how to do the formulas where everything is automatically calculated, but this is the starting point. So you do after the ending city, then you got state again, and then the pay, how much the broker is paying you on the load, how many miles it is, and then cents per mile. And really and truly, that's about all you need to know. After that, now I do got some more columns. I'll go ahead and fill my columns out the way I got mine. I got cents per mile. Then I have the deadhead. And then I calculate the actual, ACT, actual mileage, the hub miles. And you can rename these whatever you want. And then basically that's about it. So then what I usually do over here is I come over here at the top and just color this in, just grab this whole row. And for this purpose, I'm going to go ahead and grab 2 extra columns. And I'm just going to come up at the top up here. If you see up at the top, you've got the color layout. So right here, I just want to pick a nice light color, maybe like a gray or maybe even a lighter gray right around in here, right there. And so now you've got that. And then basically that's it. You just start filling it in. And so I'm going to make it a little quicker. I'm just going to come over here to, I keep all my stuff on my OneDrive account and open up my QuickBooks right here. And I'm just going to grab a couple of months up here just to make this really quick and simple. So this is what your spreadsheet would look like when you begin to fill it in. As you pick the load up, you would put the date there, your load number that you're assigning to your own load, just like any company would do. The brokerage, that's going to be whichever broker you're doing the load for. The odometer is going to be the city you're picking up in, then the city you're delivering in, the city and the state you picked up in, the odometer, and the city and state where you delivered in, and how much the broker is paying you, and how much it's paying per what Google says it is per loaded mile. So now you want to know how much it's paying. So over here in this column where it says cents per mile, you press the equal sign. By pressing the equal sign, that always starts a formula. And it's just click at this point. You're taking how much the load is paying, and you hit the forward slash, because that divides, that's your divide key, and you click the column right here beside it. So you're taking this column and dividing it by this column, and you hit enter. So it says it's paying $2.58 a mile. Now from this point on, you can just grab this column right here at the corner and drag that down as far as you want. You know, you can grab it all the way down, drag it to the bottom if you like. We'll just go to about this far right here. And now you can see that it has automatically filled in for me every one of my cents per miles for every one of these loads that I've done. From Oakland to Henderson was $2.58. From North Glen, Colorado to Salt Lake City was $2.75. This load right here was a truck ordered, not used. That $280 is what I got for a truck ordered, not used. I had to put an odometer reading in there, so I just put 1 mile because I showed up at the customer. That was the odometer right, let's see, at Long Beach. I showed up right here, and then I didn't go anywhere. The load was supposed to go to Irving, Texas, but because I didn't go anywhere, the ending odometer, I just added 1 more mile to it just to give me 1 mile. So it showed $280 for that 1 mile. And basically that's the way you would just do it that way. Now over here on the deadhead. So the deadhead is going to always equal, well, you can't start out here because I don't have a load above it. So you got to go down to the one right below it. And again, you'll press the equal sign. And you'll take the starting odometer over here at the beginning, and you will subtract that from the beginning odometer, or the ending odometer of the previous load. Because that's where you delivered at, this is where you're picking up at. And then you hit enter, so it shows it was 9 miles. Then the same thing, you drag that down all the way down to the bottom, just like you did the other one. And now you can see all your deadhead miles are always automatically filled in for you. Nothing for you to fill in there. The actual miles. Again, you can't start off with the very first one, but the next one down, you would come in here and you hit equals again, equals. And now to find the actual miles is you're taking the ending odometer and you want to subtract it from the previous ending odometer. So all it is, you're taking this cell, you hit the subtract key or the minus key, and you're subtracting that cell right above it. That's going to automatically add in your deadhead. And you hit enter, so it tells you I had 546 miles. Again, you click that cell, grab that corner, drag it all the way down, you know, as far as you want to go. And then there you have your own formula. So that's the actual miles. Now the hub miles is what we should rename that hub miles to actual, A-C-T-U-A, actual mileage, or actual cents per mile. Back it up, cents per mile. Because that's what we're really fixing to do here, is we're fixing to figure out what the load paid. So now you're taking, again, you'll click that cell right in the middle and hit your equal sign, equals. So you want to find out your the load is here, $1,400, and again you hit the forward slash because that's going to be your divide, and then you're going to divide it by how many actual miles you did, which is that right there. And so now you went from $2.75 because off the Google miles to $2.56. And again, you would take that number and you would just drag it all the way down, and from here on out all these things will automatically populate in those cells for you. Now the way I do is I like to have things bring it out like this, and I bring it all the way down to the bottom. And if you go up here to the top, and this this area in the top up here, and you hit right here, you see this little box right here with a little drop down, you click that and you come down here and you hit all borders. Now we just put borders on everything. Now up here at the top, I will grab this column across here and I will drag it all the way out to here, and then I will click that border box again and I will put a thick bottom border. There it is, thick bottom border. So now you got a good outline right there on that. Also, you can also click this column up here, or you can click all of them and bring it all the way down here like this to your bottom of here. And then you can come up in here, or the top up here, and you can center everything in and center everything in. So now everything is centered in every single square, and every single one of these little lines will automatically center up for you. To make things more visual on the eyes, I like to break my weeks down and color code them. So I take 8, so what you would do is you come back into your calendar, and I would go back to the 8th month, back to August. So you see up here I've got August the 5th, and then August the 8th, and August the 12th. The way I start my weeks is I do it on Monday. I come over here on Monday. So the 8th, I look at the 8th over here, it'd be right there, or the 5th. The first one is the 5th, the next one was the 8th, and then the next one was the 12th, which started the next week. So I would come in here and I would grab those two colors right there, and I bring it all the way here to the end like this, and then I go up here to the top and I click this little coloring box. You see the little paint bucket up at the top? You come down here, and I usually just like to pick out a good subtle color that I can see my numbers or letters through, and then I click it. Then the next one I've got the 12, 14, and 15. So you come back to the bottom again, go back to August. This is going to get aggravating, but I got to go back to August again, and I look 12, 14, 15, 16. So 12, 15, and 16, and then the 20th would be the next week. So those three right there will be, grab those, just click this, you got to click that box and drag those across. And then we'll go up here to the top, that coloring box again, and then you'll pick another color. You could pick I kind of alternate between like a peach or something like this or like that. Just something to give it. If you like green better, whatever color you like, you can pick whatever color you like. I just like to pick in something that stands out. So I'm just going to pick a mauve color right there. And I didn't pay attention, but let's go back into August again. And so you got 12, 14, and 15. Oh, and 16. So now you'll come down here and do 16. I did 4 loads that week. And then you'll go up here top, and we've already got the colors still selected, so right there. So the next week you got 20, 22, and 25. So you come back down here again, and this, I'll go ahead and fill this out and do it on the off camera to get it all the way down to the bottom, just to kind of show you the way I do mine. So now you see the spreadsheet's kind of taken form here. You've gotten your date, your column, and everything is starting to look good. What I also like to do is at the end of the month, you see at the end of the month, you're all the way down to the end of the 8th, the start of the 9th, you click this column here and you bring it all the way out over here so far, and you drag 2 more extra rows out, and I'll show you why in a minute. You come up here to the top again, you click this drop down arrow right here, and you click thick bottom border again, and it gives you a visual of the end of the month. Then at the end of the 9th month, you would do the same thing, and you bring it all the way here, a couple columns past it, and you click thick bottom border on that one, and now you've got that over there. So what you can do at the end of the month is you click this column right here. You see at the top up here where it says AutoSum, you click the AutoSum button, and it's going to automatically try to AutoSum this column over here. Just come to the top of the month up here, and then drag it down all the way to the bottom and hit enter. And you can see I did 17,110 bucks. Go to the next month, hit AutoSum again, and you'll come up to the first start of the month right there and drag it right down to the bottom, and then you hit enter again. So I did $7,548 that month. And then right here, you click this column right above it, and you want to put how many miles you did for the month. So again, you hit the equal signs, always starts your formula, and you come over here and you click the ending odometer, subtract the beginning odometer. And so in this case, it would be the first of the month right there, because this is your start of your spreadsheet. You got to have a number to start with, and you press enter. So you did 6,314 miles. This one down here, and from here on, you'll do a little bit different. You'll hit the equal sign, you'll take the end of the month, and you will subtract it from the previous month at the ending. That way you're including those deadhead miles to your first stop over here. So you're going from the end of the month to the end of the month, and you hit enter. So that month I did 3,517. Over here in this column right here, again, you hit equals. You're taking how much you made. You hit the /, which is your divide key. You click the button right above it, and you press enter. And you did $2.15 to the hub. And if you want to visualize it out a little bit, I like to click it a little bit, come up to this little color key again, click that, and bring it down and pick just a nice soft color. You can pick, I usually use yellow. This is a different spreadsheet, but you can pick, you know, a nice soft yellow or something. And hit OK. And then over here, you do the same thing. Click it again. And so now there you go. You can see this is the end of the month and this is the end of the month. This column over here, I usually save this for the end of the week. So in other words, I would take this column right here, the top right here, and I would hit equals again, equals, and I'll actually hit escape. You take this column right here, the bottom of this color right here, and you would hit AutoSum. You see this AutoSum up at the top again? You click it, and you just do the top one there, and that one there, you just drag it. You can drag it all the way down, but I just drag it to those two right there, and hit enter, and so it tells me I did $4,600 for the week. This column right above it, you would hit equals again, and you would take the ending odometer right here, subtract that from the beginning odometer of the year, and hit enter. So it tells you I did 1,800 miles. Then you hit equals over here. Then you take that number, divide it by this number, enter. So now you've got $2.56 for the week. Down here at the bottom of this week right here, you do the same thing. You hit equals, and you escape that again. AutoSum, you come up to the top to AutoSum. You take what you did at the first of the week all the way down to the end of the week and hit enter. Now this one here, you'll do a little bit different. You'll hit equals again, and then you press over here, you come to the end of the month, and you want to subtract it from the previous ending month. Now you're including all your deadhead miles for all your loads and everything you're doing. You press enter again. So now you did 2,272 miles for the whole month. You come over here and you hit equals. You take this number here, divide it by this number right above it, and hit enter. So you did $3.33 to the hub. And then you just do the same thing all the way down. Come up here, you hit AutoSum. You take these two numbers right there for the week, hit enter. You come over here, you hit equals, the ending odometer, subtract the previous month right above it, that ending odometer, and just click it and hit enter. And then down over here, you would do the same thing. You hit equals, take that number there, divide that by, which is the / the odometer, press enter. So I did $1.99. Now here we only got two columns. So basically what I do here is I just hit the equal sign and I just bring it right over here to that. Because I only did one load for the week, so that column is going to equal what I did. I just hit equals, then click that column right there, and it automatically imports it right there. Right beside it, it's going to match what it was for right there, because you already remember this column right here. If you click it, it's taken the number of miles you drove by the total actual miles you did for the week, and you only did the one load. So basically, you're just doing the same thing again. You put equals, and you click that number right there, and hit enter, and so it's going to be the same thing. So you can see now you start to get a picture of what you've done for the week. You did 4,600 this week, 7,500 this week, 3,600 this week, 1,350 that week. At the end of the month, you did 17,000, and it even gives you a cents per mile, which you're breaking down. Over in this column over here, you're seeing what you did. This is what the broker is paying you. Paying you 258, 275, 178. Over here is what you're actually making off the load with your deadhead. So you're getting to see how much you're making on the load from the broker, and you're also seeing how much your actual cents per mile is, which is a more accurate number. And I think that's what most of us want to know. We want to be accurate with what we're doing. And I go again, you go to this one down here, you just hit equals again, click that number over there, hit enter. You come over here, you click equals again, and then of course the actual cents per mile. So even that one right there, and then down below here again, you would hit equals again. For the, messing up myself, you got to go AutoSum, and you want to total up this whole week all the way down to here, and hit enter. So you got 73.50. Go right above it, hit equals the ending odometer for the month right here. Subtract, hit the minus key, and then go up to the top for the previous ending week. Hit enter, and then again, it's just wash, rinse, and repeat. You know, and then here you would hit equals. Take this number here and divide that by that right there and hit enter. And then we'll do one more for the week and we'll hit AutoSum. And we'll take these two numbers, hit enter, come above it, hit equals, the ending odometer, subtract that from the previous week's ending odometer, hit enter. So we did 822, and then you hit equals again, the total rate for the week, divide that by the total miles for the week, and hit enter. So right there. So what you're doing here on this last little column, I don't have anything marked up in it, but I already know these are broken out into weeks. And it doesn't matter if I take 3 weeks off, I will just alternate. So in other words, let's say I work today and then I come back in 2 weeks from now and I do another load. I just go to the calendar and I just look at the calendar, and I usually start my weeks on Monday and then Sunday. So if the load picks up on Sunday and delivers on Friday, say I'm picking a load up going across country, it will still fall in that week. And that's just the way I do it. It's just a color code of kind of like, you know, that's just the way I do it. Now, the other thing up here at the top is usually I start somewhere around like column E, and you can hit gross earnings. So you come up here to gross earnings. So you type in GROSSEARNING, earnings. Now on the top up here, you can see again, remember this little boxes up here? You can align this thing so that this thing lines up to the, well, I'm trying to get it to line up to the left. There you go. You got to click the one on the right. I'm sorry, I was all messed up on that. So it'd be all the one to the right. The one over here on the right would make it line up on the right. And so what I do over here in this column here is I hit AutoSum. And what you'll do is you'll do this one time. You see the AutoSum, you click beside gross earnings, you come to column E, and you just highlight it. Again, you come over to the top where it says AutoSum. When you click that, you see that for this pay, you'll grab that number right there and you just drag that all the way down as far as you've built your spreadsheet, or however far. You can expand this out and out as far as you want, forever and ever if you want. And then you just press enter. And what it does is it will automatically calculate everything that's in this column over here and tell you what your total is for the year. Now, of course, I haven't gone back to the year. I just started in August, September, and then October. We're in October now. So, but my spreadsheet shows a little bit different because it goes all the way back to January. I'm just doing this here for demonstration purposes. So for those 3 months, I've done 7,000, well, for the 2 months, and then this 1 week of this month that we're in right now. Now, below that, I do net. And let's just do total mileage. Let's skip one. We'll do total mileage. TOTALMILAGE, total mileage. And again, you'll come up here to this column and you'll line that up on the right hand side, here and here. So now we're lining up to the right. So the total miles, what you would do here is you would hit equals again, and you would take this one, you kind of update it every so often, periodically. You got to update it because you're building your spreadsheet out. So let's say let's say I'm right here and I haven't got anything below here. So I would hit equals here, divide that by, or subtract, I'm sorry. Subtract that from the beginning odometer of the year and hit enter. So now I've got 4,000, and if you double click it, it'll tell you. You see, you're taking that column here, the G7, from D11, which would be this column here from this column here. And if you want to update it, so let's say next week or another week goes by or another month goes by and you want to see what your total miles are, you just double click. See that G17 over there? You double click that, come down to the bottom, and now it's changing it from where it was to there, and you press enter, and now so it says I've got 10,635 miles. So now you want to know how much you're making, you hit gross cents per mile. Now you would take equal, you would hit the equal sign again, take your total pay, divide that by the / the total miles, and hit enter. So it tells me right there I'm making $2.61 to my truck for the year on these loads in this period, this time frame right here. I have a net cents per mile, and I have a cost to operate. And up here I also have a net earnings. So those are the columns that I have, and you just drag those columns down right there as far as you want to here, and you would just click the right side and the right side. Yep, let's do it again. I messed it up. Click the right side and right side, and now you can see everything just lines up on that right hand side. So by clicking these two up on here on the right hand column, it lines everything up. If you want it to center, you can center it. But if you line it up to the right, if you center it, it's going to run into this column over here. If you back it up the other way, it's just going to go into the next column over there. And to get your net earnings, that's where you would need this, your accounting program. You would, and I'll make the next video showing people how to download the program I use, which is Microsoft Money, but you can use Excel, not Excel, but Quicken. While my camera died. What I was saying is the next video will be taking my accounting program, which I use Microsoft Money, and you can use QuickBooks or Quicken or something like that, but I'll show you on the next video where to download Microsoft Money if that's what you would prefer to use or try to use it. And I'll even show you how to, the basics of setting it up and how I go about using it, if you're interested in it or not. That'll be the next video.